Ya'u uda. Peace to the queens and kings. What's good to the gods and goddesses? And what's popping to my people? What's happening, brethren? This, man, look, this gonna hurt. This gonna hurt. Some of y'all, I'm gonna hit you in your unmentionables. I'm telling you right now, because you've been planning and playing, and you thought I wasn't gonna, and now I got to. Y'all queen. Peace, wife. What's up with it, God? Man, look, this gonna get like a fight. That's what the babies used to say, fight. This gonna be a fight. And you know what? I never been live on TikTok yet. I'm going in. Not now. I'm about to go in. How do I go? Wait, hold on. How do I do this shit? Live. Do I push the button and go in? Hold on, y'all. Hey, yeah, so we gonna get to the bottom of things. Soon as I figure out how to turn this on, because look, the problem is this right here. Everybody got an opinion, and we've been taught that opinions matter. The reason why people either decide whether they like me or they can't fucking stand me is because I say what most people thinking but don't really want to say. So here's the truth. Most people don't give a shit about your opinion. They just pretend they do for whatever reason that y'all got going on, but realistically, most people don't care what you think. They don't. People care what you can prove, and then they get mad at you for proving it. That's the way of the world we live in. So if you got a whole lot of friends, you probably don't know much. I'm just being honest. The truth is in unfamiliar places. And the biggest problem we got is, y'all remember when Eddie Murphy said, I'm not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe. We fall for the banana in the tailpipe too much. We like to look left past right. And so when it get down to the get down, ain't nobody telling the fucking truth. That's why I say they never tell the truth. Now we got to learn to take a little bit of everything from everybody. Hey, Corey, do you know how to go? You don't even use TikTok. I'm asking you. Do you know how to go live on this damn thing? Look at my TikTok real quick. Anybody? Oh, wait, hold on. I see a button that say live. Oh, it's going down. Add the title. Good enough. Misinformation. No. What's I'm gonna put this long ass title. Jews. No, they're gonna kick me off of TikTok if I say that. See that? Misinformation Nation. Kanye and Kyrie breakdown. They might let us rock for a little while, but I don't foresee it lasting long. Okay, fuck it. They ain't letting me pop culture. They ain't letting me do all that extra shit. All right. So I'm just finna press the button and see what happens. Fuck all that. All right, family, let's get it. So now, this is my first time with the TikTok audience. If y'all come, you'll witness history. If you don't, well, you'll hear about it. So tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to deal with this Kanye Kyrie thing. But we're going to deal with it the right way. No emotionalism, no heavy opinions, because as I said, we're under the impression that opinions matter. The truth is, this is the real world, big boys and girls, and nobody cares about your damn opinion. People care about what you can prove and what you can't prove. Tonight, we're going to deal with what I can prove. Oh, you say what? Zone 1, what's happening, baby? You know the Reese's on deck. Soon as it get heavy and I come up out my sweat, I'm going to the Reese's. Now, to all my friends in TikTok land, this is your first time with me. It's going to get heavy. I promise. So now, here we go. Now, the first thing is we worried about anti-Semitism, Kanye, Kyrie. But what I want to focus on, I don't want to focus on anti-Semitism and all of that, because that to me is a distraction. I want to stay with a real, see, we got to deal with us before we can deal with everybody else. So let's deal with us. Kanye and Kyrie said we're black Jews. That's what I want to deal with tonight. Are we black Jews? Are we the Hebrew Israelites? Is that us? That's what we're going to deal with. And whatever else falls off the banana truck. So now, where we always get lost at is we hear something we like, we just run with it. We don't got no respect for names, dates, and real historical things we can prove. I like history. I like shit I can prove. So now, let's deal with what we can prove. First of all, why are we even calling ourselves Hebrew Israelites? Why are we calling ourselves black Jews? Because first of all, I want to deal, before we get into the heavy information, I want to deal with the deception of Kanye West and Kyrie Irving. Now, I'm not quite as sure about Kyrie as I am about Kanye. So we got two topics we want to deal with. First of all, I deal with this first so we can get the head out the air. Are Kanye and Kyrie saying the right thing? Now, Kanye wants to bring attention to the way media, we don't have to put a race on it. He said the white Jewish media. He was specific about that. So now, you can feel how you want to feel about that. Realistically, the media in general, has the media unjustly portrayed the melanated man and woman? Period. That's what we want to deal with. So now, we know ever since we can remember, all you ever get is predominantly negative images of black men and women doing an applicable aptitude of all kind of shit. I mean, you can go from the beginning of the crack era when they kept the camera in our faces while they fed us genocide. So we can easily say the media has never been in our favor. So for someone with so much to lose, being willing to stand up to the media, that's admirable. He did better than most. Most celebrities, especially those that were in his position and had so much to lose, would not have dared taking such a risk. Once again, we'll clap for him. My only question is, as usual, y'all know my number one rule is they never tell the truth. So I would have to ask the question, did we see what we thought we saw? That's the space I want to live in. I don't want to live in all of this other shit. I want to deal with reality. Did we see what we thought we saw? First of all, pay attention to the 2024 hat that stays adorned on his head. we always skip over subliminal messaging. See, we live in a world where we get up and we just do shit. People who are impressionable or people who are here to sway the minds of others understand that everything is marketing. So when I'm a billionaire and I'm going on a talk show, I understand that the hat that I wear is going to be seen by 100 million people. So I carefully select my hat where the brim says 2024. At some point, you're going to have to ask me about it. Then we're going to have to talk politics and my intention for the presidency. See, we fail to always look deeper because we like things on the surface because they're comfortable. But let's get past the surface sometimes and dig a little bit. So now, these corporations that allegedly let Kanye West go, these were corporations that he was obligated to stay under contract with for a couple more years. Now, those contractual obligations are gone. But he still has the identity that's worth billions. They might have took the money from him, but any real hustler know you take it all and I could get it right back. I'm a hustler. Anybody who was able to make himself worth so many billions is not at a loss just because they say he can't sell some shoes and pants. He is the money. You see what happened to Adidas as soon as they got rid of them? They tanked. So I'm just setting the preset. We're going to get to it. But what we have to pay attention to is the people who got us having this discussion in the first place. That's essential, because if we have this discussion without dealing with the people who have us having this discussion, we're going to suffer a dangerous fate. And that's what I've been seeing happening. We caught up in our personal opinions and thoughts about it, but we're not analyzing what really could have been going on in the mind of the men that we're dealing with. So I go back to this. Did we see what we thought we saw? Did we see a man commit financial and career suicide? Or did we see a man gain liberation? Or did we see a man play both sides to perfection? Possibly the best we've ever seen in entertainment history. See, you do yourself a disservice when you're not willing to look at every aspect of the scenario. Stop looking at things and saying, oh, I got it figured out. And then you get on with your day. No. Everybody know me. I'm the why man. Every answer you give me, I want to know why until we can't ask that question no more. And then I'm okay. So now, why does he choose such a pivotal moment to make this move? Why does he keep saying he's a black Jew? Why does he keep saying he's a Christian? Wait a minute, Kanye. See, I'm smarter than the average bear, boo-boo. You can't just say anything to me. How you gonna be a black Jew and a Christian, Kanye? Now, for those of you who not paying attention, we got to put brakes on vehicles. That's what they make them for. You can't do both. You cannot be a black Jew and be a Christian. These are two different religions. For instance, Jewish people don't like Jesus. Kanye references himself as a Jesus figure all the time. So right there, we have a problem, an enormous problem. You think Kanye don't know that? Somebody who keeps telling us, you got to do your research. But he doesn't know the difference between a Christian and a black Jew. And now, here's another problem. See, if you blink, you'll miss it. If I am claiming to be a black Jew, then I'm accepting that there are white Jews. Wait a minute, Kanye. Wait a minute, Kanye. Well, if we're going to accept the fact that there's black Jews, and we're going to accept the fact that there's white Jews, well, then we got to get into the scriptures and see what God said. Because what you're not going to do is keep playing with me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a little something, and I'm going to read it for you, Kanye, because I'm not going to be playing with you tonight. Now, y'all, just hold on. Hold on. What's that? Wait. Is this the one right here? Lord, I should bring with it. Wait. I want the one where, hold on. Hold on. I'm going to find it, y'all. Give me a second. I don't want the one where he's calling out the nations. See, I knew I was gonna mess around and miss something. I want the biblical scripture where he's calling out the nations and telling you exactly what nations. Wait. I know I got it, y'all. Give me a second, please. I must not have sent it to him. It's on my phone. I can't get it out. I want the scripture where he's calling out the nations, and he says, you Israel are the children of Canaan. Because if you're the children of Canaan, and then he goes on to name a couple groups. But now, the Israelites are supposed to be of Shem. The Canaanites are of Ham. So why would God be saying you are of the Canaanites, the Jebusites, the Amorites? These are from the lineage of Ham. Canaan, you can see right there. And then you go down, you see the Jebusites, the Amorites. Okay, now this is, if you go to, hold on one second. Possess the half of the nation. Okay, here we go. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and have cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites and the Girgashites and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than you. Now, it says that he had them cast those nations out. But it also says that that's the bloodline that they came from. So what you're talking about is pre-dynastic black on black crime. for lack of better ways to put it. Hold on, the comment section on fire. Where y'all? Hold on. They doing all Numbers 34:2, Revelations chapter 2, verse 9. Found out yesterday you can't use the New Testament against them. Did Ye say he was a Jew? Yeah, Ye calls himself a black Jew. And so if he's calling himself a black Jew, free game, what's going on? If he's calling himself a black Jew, then we got to take issue with that. But now, hold on, let me get back to this. Because you cannot tell Israel that they are from the Canaan, that Canaan is their father, the Canaanite bloodline. Now keep in mind, we didn't already decipher that the Canaanite bloodline comes directly from Satan. I already broke that down, beat it up, and won every debate on it. So I'm not about to do it tonight. But if you're on TikTok, go look at bloodline. What I got? Bloodline. The Satanic Seed, part 1, 2, and 3, and I break the whole thing down. We ain't got to deal with it right now. If you're not on TikTok, then you probably heard me say it already. So we've already proven that the Canaanite bloodline comes from the seed of Satan. Now you're hearing in the scripture, in Deuteronomy, I can't think of which one. It's Deuteronomy something where he said, Deuteronomy 7 something. Somebody look it up and find it for me. Where he clearly says Israel is from the Canaanite bloodline. So if Israel is from the Canaanite bloodline and the Amorites and the Jebusites, then you're not the bloodline of Shem, you're the bloodline of Ham, which is black folks. So therefore, in that sense, Kanye was right when he says he can't be anti-Semitic, but at the same time, Semitic is supposed to be the people of Shem. When it's all said and done, we don't got to waste a lot of time on it because none of these people existed. So now, let's get to the good part. Because I didn't come to fuck around tonight. Okay, so now here we go. Let's get to let me find my thing real quick for y'all. All right, we back to this. Okay, so now let's get to these books. That's what I want to deal with. Let's get to these books. Now, you go on with the Old Testament. This is what you say. And then you got some that go with the New Testament. Now, I'm talking about the Hebrew Israelite brothers. You got some that say Old Testament, and you got some that say New Testament. Here's the problem. If you say, I only rock with the Old Testament, the New Testament is no good. Then the reason why you say the New Testament is no good, obviously, is because there's some deception in it. So, how weird is it to think that they took the Old Testament, which is the truth, and put it in the same book with the New Testament that's the lie? What would be the point in that? Couldn't you just keep references back to the Old Testament to find the lie? So either neither one of them is a lie or both of them is a lie. Which one is it? But according to these Israelite brothers, they can't decide. So we're split down the middle. That there is a problem. So now, who is this? Oh, I missed you. Hold on. You got to send it back. I'll let you tap in. So now, hold on. So now, we got to deal with this. If we're going to say Old Testament, the oldest thing we got is the Dead Sea Scrolls. But the Dead Sea Scrolls are incomplete. So we don't got the Dead Sea Scrolls. Holy Bible does not have original manuscripts. The Holy Bible does not have original manuscripts. There lies the problem. So now, here's where the shit about to get thick. Here's where the shit about to get thick. Kent Brooks, termination will ensure user does not end live video within 5 minutes. Notification. Wait a minute. Notification will TikTok guidelines. Termination will ensure if user does not end live video within 5 minutes. I told y'all that wasn't gonna last long. Bye-bye, TikTok. Hold on, y'all. Okay. My fault, y'all. I got kicked off TikTok my first time. That's a damn shame. Well, we have 407 viewers. You got more views than 94% of hosts with a similar following. Hey, that's what's up. We cracking and we ain't even cracking. All right. Now I'm done with that. I have my TikTok moment. Back to the family. Let's iron this out over here where we can't get kicked out for talking that real shit. Because I'm about to crack these people's shit in half. I'm about to crack these. Come on, let me come up out my jacket. I ain't even stopping to fuck these people up because I'm tired of them lying. Let's get to it now. I got the Reese's out. I'm going in. Now, fuck TikTok. Now, fuck it. Let's tap in with the book. We going everywhere tonight. We everywhere, they never there. We finna go live on Facebook. Fuck them. Hold on. I don't want to see no bullshit. I'm coming right now, y'all. Live. We on. All right, now. So now we finna get this up out of here. And now we gotta go with okay, you got the Torah, is what they try to tell you. Now the Torah is the 5 books of Moses. We can't prove Moses existed. So we don't have the 5 books of Moses. We got copies. So the Torah is not the actual writings of Moses. It's copies. Keep that in mind. Anybody tell you different, tell them prove it. Now, what else we got? So you got, if you want to go with the earliest thing that we got, the most complete the most complete rendition of the Old Testament is the Septuagint. The Septuagint. Now the thing about this is, the Septuagint can only be authenticated through LXX. Now, what's LXX? The letters within the LXX is contained the letters of Aristeas. That's the only thing that validates the Septuagint. Follow me. Now, here's why. Because you need proof. So the letters from Aristeas proves that the Septuagint actually is a real thing. Now, here's how. It's supposed to have been 70 Hebrew scholars that put it together. But actually, it was like 73. But here's the thing. Now, when you get to the letters of Aristeas, a lot of people even question if they real. And the reason why is because it's a letter from Ptolemy. Ptolemy is the person who took over after Alexander was in control of Egypt. Now, you got this dude, Ptolemy, who has already taken over Israel, conquered Israel, and now is conquering Egypt. So you got to keep in mind, before Egypt was conquered, Israel was conquered by the Greeks. So the Greeks conquered Israel and then took over Egypt. So you got this already under Egyptian rule. Now, this letter from Aristeas is supposed to say that Ptolemy wrote a letter to the ruler of Israel, and basically the whole letter he spent kissing his ass, saying, hey, we did right by your soldiers, and the ones that was enslaved, we gave them jobs, we paid them well, and the whole point was this right here. So we already got these people enslaved, and we're going to let them go. This is what Aristeas suggested. If you let the slaves go, it'll show a sign of good faith, and then you can get them to write this documentation for you. We need the translations in Greek. So Aristeas was basically his librarian. He's trying to appeal to the ruler Ptolemy. So what he says is, if you let the slaves go, a couple thousand of them, it'll show good faith, and then you'll be able to get them to make this translation for you. So let me get this straight. You want me to release my slaves and then pay them to make a translation for me. When I got them right here, I could beat the shit out of them until they do it. So the only thing that solidifies the Septuagint these 70 people translating is that letter that came from the LXX. Now, we still gonna rock with it though, because I happen to have, I told you I wasn't gonna play with y'all tonight. I got, since the Septuagint is supposed to be the real deal, because this is what the Hebrews gonna run to. They're gonna run to this and tell you this is the authentic teaching. This is the real translation. This is the most authentic, thorough book we got. Okay, that's fine. Now, I just happen to have both translations. On the left is the Septuagint. On the right is the King James. Now, we can clearly see that this on the left don't look shit like this on the right. It's translation from the same language. This on the left don't look shit like this on the right. Why is that? Because this is Deuteronomy. This is Deuteronomy 28. The one that got all of y'all thinking that y'all are slaves. This one on the left is the original from the Septuagint. This one on the right is the King James. The one on the left doesn't say a fucking thing about slaves or slave ships. How do I know? Because we went on the goddamn website and got the information off the site. That's how I know. So therefore, the translation that you're so high strung about in Deuteronomy that tells you that you should be a slave, which is dumb as hell to believe it in the first place, there's the original translation, and it does not say that. Now, if you want to get to the modern day King James Version, I'll tell you why it's different. Because the King James Bible came out in between 1604 and 1611. King James himself had already had slaves, which means before the Bible, the New Testament came out, slavery had already been underway a couple hundred years. So how hard is it to predict that there's going to be slaves in America when you are currently in the process of taking slaves to America? This is not a fucking prediction. This is what you're currently doing. See how easy that was? So this is why, Kanye West, you can't call yourself a Christian and a black Jew and tell other people to do research when you ain't done nothing your damn self. And I just want to know what happened to Jesus with the upside down cross and the white women with the lizard tongues. See, what you're not going to do is play with me. Now, I'm not saying he didn't say some shit we could deal with. I'm not saying what he did wasn't monumental if he actually did it. But what I am saying is, don't get all goo-goo gaga over this move. Watch it, study it, move accordingly, but do not raise the goddamn victory flag, because your ass will be back in shackles before you know it, following Kanye West, who don't know if he like to cross upside down or right side up, which he don't, because he keeps switching it. You can't have the guy who run the satanic church at your goddamn Sunday service, Kanye West. How the hell you got Marilyn Manson at Sunday service? You ever seen Jesus invite Satan to church? Then again, don't answer that, because I'm pretty sure I probably have. And I don't know who don't understand that on Tuesdays they can't call me right now, but on Tuesdays you can't call me right now. Okay, now, comment section, I'm rocking with y'all. Okay, now, let's get back to it though. All right, now, so now we already then ironed out a couple creases out this whole dumbass scenario, because we got to ask ourselves, what is our interpretation of God? See, when we hear something we like, We don't process information. We just get caught up in that. Now, let's process something for a minute. It's called endorphins, the pleasure part of your mind. So when you hear something that pleasures you, you get this tingly thing, like I'm getting right now from kicking this info, and then you forget all kind of other shit. So now, what we have to ask ourselves is a monumental question. What is our interpretation of who or what God is? Now, by definition, God is omni-being, omnipotent, omnipresent, omni-being. That means always present, all-knowing, all-being, everything. So if God is all-knowing and always present, then the doctrine makes no sense. Because keep in mind, the Hebrew Israelites, here's the doctrine. For those of you not familiar with it, what it says is that the black man in America broke the covenant between him and God and had to endure 400 years of slavery, and then was going to come back to the top. But the punishment was 400 years of oppression. And so now we got a couple problems with this. Because first of all, here's the first thing that sticks out to me. With this doctrine, if this is a real thing, then we got no smoke for the white guy. If you believe this doctrine, there's no such thing as racism. This is what you got to understand, what you're agreeing to. If you're agreeing, if you're consenting and saying you're a Hebrew Israelite, then there's no such thing as racism. Because check me out. If you broke the covenant with God, then the white boy is carrying out God's order by punishing you. As soon as God is tired of that, you'll be set free of that punishment. Not a moment before, because God controls everything according to what you believe. So if God controls everything and God knows everything, then here's my question. Why give you a covenant knowing that you were going to break it, knowing that God was going to get pissed, then in turn knowing he was going to punish you, and then in turn knowing one day he was going to have to let you go from that punishment? It seems like a lot to do if I already know. Put it to you this way. If you knew that every action you made for the next 24 hours was going to either make you $1 million or put you $1 million in debt, what would you do with your next 24 hours? And don't give me no dumbass answer like, I'm not God. That's not my question. You're right. You're not God. God is a zillion times smarter than you. So you should be able to answer this question. If you knew in the next 24 hours, you could either make $1 million or become $1 million in debt by every decision you made, what would you do with every decision you made? Okay, then. So there is no God gonna create a people that God calls its special people, give them a bunch of rules that he knows they're gonna break, and then punish them for breaking them. That's the dumbest shit I ever heard. But this is what this Hebrew Israelite faith resides on, this belief. So in order to become a Hebrew Israelite, you have to believe that premise right there, which means in turn, you cannot ever again say that white people are racist or that there is racism in this country. Because how could there be a such thing as racism when this is what God ordained? Or somebody's full of shit. I'll take that for 9,000, Alex. Let's knock it off, please, family. And let's just deal with what's in front of us. This is what's in front of us. There's no proof that this Hebrew Old Testament ever existed. So only thing we can prove is that the Greeks gave us the Old Testament. Pay attention. Hebrew Old Testament. Translated. Hebrew to Greek, the Septuagint. 250 BC. We got everything right there. There's the timelines. There's the literary books. Screenshot it, study it, get back to me. Meanwhile, we can keep it moving. So therefore, once again, these fucking people be lying. And so now, what's Kanye up there doing, people? Because you can't hang out with Marilyn Manson, call him your stepbrother, and then say, well, I'm a Christian. I hang with Marilyn Manson, my stepbrother, but I'm a Christian. And I love Jesus. Get the fuck out of here. But where there's smoke, there's fire. So now, let's keep it cooking, though. Let's keep it cooking, though, because now we got to deal with the other half of this silliness. Because if and this is silliness, but if I don't address it, y'all gonna play with me and act like I couldn't have smoked you on it. So I'm gonna deal with it. This whole King James was black. Now here's why we got to deal with that. As I crack open my Reese's, here's why we got to deal with this King James is black thing. Because as you could see, in 40 minutes flat, I just ripped the whole faith to shreds. So the only leg they got left to stand on is King James is black. Because if King James is black, that's the only way that you can find black people anywhere in the makeup of this dumbass religion. So, how we gonna prove King James black? Because all y'all got is that dusty ass picture where it looked like a white boy on dingy paper. And y'all, he said, look, the King James black, look, here you go right here. Yeah. You can't show me his mama, his daddy, or none of that shit. So you keep your King James, and I'm going to keep the King James that I could prove that got more than one picture about him. So, first of all, you got to start with his mama and daddy them and his fucked up ass past. Now, for those of y'all on Facebook, I'm sorry. Y'all going to miss the visuals. We usually be up here on YouTube. So if you want to cross over, Misinformation Nation on YouTube, where all the visuals is at. Otherwise, we don't keep cooking. So now here's a picture of his sweet ass daddy who looked like he got on something like a dress on the right side and his mama over there on the left. Now these people are Scottish. So her name was Mary of Scott. Now, wait, hold on. Let me okay, here we go right here. So this is how the family drama started even before he was born. His parents were Mary Queen of Scots and her second husband, Henry Stuart, Lord Darnley. Both of them could trace their history back to King Henry VII. They were cousins. So to start out, two cousins got married and made a baby. So y'all want King James to be black so bad. So I'm going to say, you could take this story and put a black face on it if it makes you feel better. But after you hear this story, the furthest fucking thing from your mind is going to be saying King James is black. So let's deal with it. So in order for your King James to fit into this, his mama and daddy first got to be cousins. CMB in the building. What's out to the family? So once we get past the cousin part, because, oh no, wait, I'm cheating. Oh, yeah, I showed y'all too much. Okay. Now, wait, hold on. Is this the James officially became King James the Sixth of Scotland on July 29th, 1567. He was 13 months old. Since 1-year-olds don't generally know that much about politics, a council appointed the Earl of Moray to act as his regent. And just so we clear, they shot his ass dead in the streets. It became one of the most dangerous jobs on the planet was to be the motherfucking regent for baby King James. All of their ass started getting killed into the one dude who stayed for a few years before they killed him. But either way it go. So now, here's the deal with his family. Queen Elizabeth, the one who had the good ship Jesus, the slave ship Jesus, that lady, that was his cousin. Just so we clear. So slavery was already in the play because his cousin was the first one, because, you know, the Americas got into the slave trade last. So when they got into the slave trade, she was the first one to send that ship. And it was from a guy named Lipkin. I can't remember his first name, but look up Lipkin and Good Ship Jesus. Now, Queen Elizabeth was the cousin, and if King James was to inherit the throne next, we got some issues. So first we got to deal with the mother and the father. The mother killed the daddy because the daddy knew the mother was cheating with her secretary. So he followed them out to dinner one night, and he ran up on dude at the dinner table and gutted him in front of everybody. Remember, yo, King James, y'all want to be black. Got to be kin to these people. I don't know why y'all can't hear me. Oh, wait, let me turn it up. There we go. Yo, King James, that y'all so desperately want to be black, got to be related to these people. So, King James, mama and daddy was cousins. They made him, and they say when relatives make babies, they don't turn out right. They could be right once I tell you about this little fucker. So either way it go. So now the daddy knew mama was cheating with the secretary, followed them to dinner, and gutted the secretary in front of everybody. So the mama got pissed off and waited about a month later and shot him down, had him had him killed in the quarry in front of everybody. And then Queen Elizabeth had the mother captured, and she said it was because they was plotting against her. But the truth is, now that the father was out the way, the only person standing between her and the throne was Mary. So they locked Mary up in the dungeon for 2 decades. Now, what did she get locked up for? If y'all go watch V is for Vendetta, it's about a dude named Guy Fawkes who was trying to blow up the English Parliament. Mary was part of that plot. So King James' mother was part of that plot because they stole the throne from her and locked her up in the dungeon. She escaped. And when she escaped, she put together her whole little squad, and it was a war going on between King James' mother and the English Parliament. Part of that was the Guy Fawkes dude trying to blow up the thing. Y'all could look up the 5th of November is a sacred day because it's the day that they almost blew up the goddamn English Parliament. So either way it go, they caught her for that, locked her up again. She was locked up for 20 years. They finally cut her head off. They cut her head off, and then they killed one more person. I can't remember who it was. And then King James took the throne at 13 months. So now, this is what you have to deal with. You have to get into history. Before you start formulating opinions about how you feel about this, that, and the third, get into the real live information. This is the real King James. This is the guy connected to your Bible. Not whatever dingy ass picture of the fake ass black dude that y'all be looking at. That has got nothing to do with the Bible. Now, and another thing we have to understand, when you say the King James Bible is by that black dude, Even if it was true, it wouldn't make a difference, because you got to understand, almost all rulers had their own Bible, bro. That is part of being the ruler. So you just put out your own version of the Bible when you took the throne, because the ruler is the king is the ultimate say over the land, or the queen is the ultimate say over the land. So how you gonna have a religious book out and the king has not put his approval on it? So in order to put the religious book out, they just put it out in honor of King James. He didn't have a fucking thing to do with it. Now, as far as paying for translation, Queen James, y'all can look this up too. Look up Francis Bacon. Now, Francis Bacon was Queen Elizabeth's, she never got married. They used to call her the man queen. She was real manly. She never got married, but she had little flings on the side. One of her little flings on the side, she ended up having a baby out of wedlock. Now, the baby that she had out of wedlock was Francis Bacon, but he could never be brought to the forefront because he was a bastard. So they kept him like under the cuff. Now, if you look up the Rosicrucians, that's one of the #1 secret societies in American history. Francis Bacon was the leader of the Rosicrucians, leader of the Knights. He was the leader of a lot of secret societies. It's said that he was a genius. And Francis Bacon is also supposed to be the real Shakespeare. If you ever look into Shakespeare, they say Shakespeare was an idiot and he was a figurehead. The real Shakespeare was Francis Bacon. All of that shit you can look up. Once you start looking up Francis Bacon, it's a rabbit hole. You just start pulling and follow the breadcrumbs, Hansel and Gretel. So now, with that being said, Francis Bacon is the one that did the translation. So when they say King James paid for the translation, bro, he got his big cousin to do it. It wasn't like that. Look, big cuz knocked that shit out. He probably gave him a couple of dollars, but the reason why they had Bacon do it, because remember, this is a top-notch secret society guy. The Bible is a coded book, so they needed somebody that could encode the scriptures. That's why they had Bacon do it. Bacon was a master encryptor. He was the #1 of his time, so he was able to encrypt the book with certain things that they wanted in there, the shit that we be teaching up on these platforms. Okay, I try to keep CNB in the building. What's good, God? Can't get right. My dude Black Dave, what's good, God? Okay, let's keep it moving though. I'm finna go back over here to what these joints said. So now this is the real King James. So when you say this thing about this other King James, you can't connect all these dots like I'm doing. Look how I'm giving you the whole historical breakdown, how it all merges together. So you got to be able to do that with that other guy. But anytime I run into people with these discussions and I ask them who's the parents, they don't know the parents of this other guy that y'all keep showing me the picture of. So we can't rock with nothing. We can't follow the breadcrumbs, Hansel and Gretel. Now, let's look at some more about his family, though. Okay. Queen Mary of Scots trusted Queen Elizabeth far too much. Though she hoped Elizabeth would help her reclaim the crown, the Virgin Queen had no such plans. Mary ended up spending the last 2 decades of her life as a prisoner in England before she was accused of plotting against Elizabeth's assassination. She was finally executed in 1587, a gruesome affair where it took 3 clumsy strikes to get her head off. That's horrible, bro. They didn't even behead her right. They steady whacking and can't get the head off. This is the real King James. I don't know about that other guy. I'll go with the shit I can prove. Okay, so hold on. Let me find it. I'll find it in a second. So now let's just deal with this. If you're gonna say you're a Hebrew Israelite, let's understand what you're saying. You're saying that you broke the God's covenant and are being punished. So if this is part of your punishment, you can't cry foul play about anything. Everything that has happened to you for the last 400 years is fair game if you believe this doctrine. So shut the fuck up about slavery, civil rights, discrimination, all of that shit. You can flush it down the toilet. We don't want to hear it because you believe in this. Now, the other thing is this. My issue is, do you believe in an all-knowing God or not? Because 400 years ended in 2020, or they announced it. So if the 400 years already ended, what are we doing? Bro, the 400 years ended before George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, the last 5-6 incidents we had. I'm drawing a blank right now because I'm teaching about something completely different. But you can look at the last public 5 incidents we had publicly. The same police that originally were slave catchers. Now, y'all know the origin of the police force is to catch slaves. Before slave catching was necessary, there was no police. So if the police force was created for the purpose of catching slaves, then once again, that's something that this guy you believe in ordained, because this guy you believe in ordained your slavery. So then this guy you believe in ordained the police force to chase your ass down and make sure that you stay slaves. So every time one of these white boy cops kill a black man, shut the fuck up and don't march. Don't say shit, because your God ordained it and you believe that. I personally don't believe that. And I personally can't make no sense out of, if my 400 years is up, why do they still get to whoop our ass? We not no closer to power. Even if you say 100 years from now we'll be better. We had a 400-year prophecy according to your Bible. The 400 years ended. What is this? This is about to be 2023. The 400 years ended in 2019. Because according to them, in 1619 is when you got here. According to them. Which that's a lie anyway, because you was here already before that. So your scripture been already expired. But I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and say it was 2019, 2020, 21, 22, on the way to 2023. And it's safe to say, you ain't got a chance in hell of regaining power in the next 2 years. Not over the planet. Now, I can't, no, I take that back. I can't say that. I can't say that. I can't say that. I take that back. So it's possible that this guy that you believe in could have just misshot the date a little bit. Because I don't know what's going to happen in the next 2 years. I can't speak like that. But I do know this. You almost 4 years behind the date of your freedom. And you are currently getting your ass drugged all over the planet. The Black American male is the most incarcerated person on the planet. So if that's the case, you are still undergoing that 400 years. Still. So now, we got some decisions to make. We got to make some real live decisions. Are we going to keep going with the narratives they give us, or are we going to start using the damn brain? Because I forgot one of these pictures I wanted to show y'all. I be uploading so many pictures. I forgot one of the ones I wanted to show y'all. But it's easy to get. I'm going to post it now. Okay, so now If y'all go back to last week when Kanye West said the thing about right after the shit hit the fan, he went and grabbed his cell phone and he named a whole bunch of companies. And after he named the companies, he said all of those companies I just named, all the executives, all the top executives are in red and they're Jewish. And he showed you the phone and the whole phone screen was down there red. I don't know if any of y'all seen that, but if you've seen it, I'm gonna post a picture right after this. I apologize for forgetting it. But if you've seen it, you see he's holding the phone in this hand. And his other hand is like this. See, I'm not going to play with Kanye. Y'all might, but I don't. He holding his cell phone in here complaining about the Jewish people. But he's throwing up the 666 in his hand right here. The same reason why he can give you a Sunday service but have Marilyn Manson with him. Because we don't look into shit. We believe whatever makes us feel good because we don't like to work. So when somebody gives us a convenience that keeps us from not having to work, we'll take it. But I got a problem with someone who sends mixed messages. If you're going to tell me we're the black Jews, and then you're going to say, do your research. That was his exact words. I'm a black Jew too. We're Jewish. We're Jewish too. Do your research. That's what he said. So how'd you do research, Kanye, and reach the conclusion that you could be a black Jew and claim Christianity and Jesus at the same time? The same reason why you can complain about the Jewish people with this hand and you could throw a 666 with this hand. See, when you turn to the side, it's a 666. The code know that. Y'all think it means okay. No, this is 666. Look it up right now. You can Google it. I got the Google screenshot because I'm doing it for TikTok. So when he's doing this right here, see, if I'm going to say something offensive, I have to let it be known that I'm still playing ball. So you'll see these entertainers, they'll come up and they'll say something that you think is controversial, but at the end, and when they hype up the crowd, they'll be like, yeah, family, yeah. Okay, this is the apology. This was the statement. This was the apology. Meaning, when I say what I say and I do this right here, I'm playing ball. See, y'all think this is right? No, this is the devil horns. This is not whatever the fuck you think it is. Look it up. Signs and symbols run your world. This is the devil horns and the tail. When you do this, they just remove the tail. Look at Antoine LaVey, the leader of the Church of Satan back in the day, the founder of the Church of Satan. He does this all the time. So, just like gang members, you think a 6-point star stands for this and a 5-point star stands for that? No, that's not true. Because gangs are created by cult members. Gangs are created by secret society members, Masonic brothers, people, members of the brotherhood. You don't have to believe me and you don't have to agree. But you can look at the gang signs and symbols and look at the colors, and they're Masonic. They're secret society colors. So this is a hidden language. This is a coded language. Why? Because it ain't for you. Now, if you should happen to get the knowledge, so I say to people all the time when they say, don't just believe what you see in a video. Like, bro, it doesn't matter where I get it from, because I'm double checking everything, every which way. It's limited in the sources because you can't go to the library and access the books you used to. So you're going to have to use the internet to get your information. But it's about checking your information and your sources to be thorough. It's about intention. What are you looking for? Are you looking to be right, or are you looking for truth? I'm looking for the truth. I'm a black man in America. I've been wrong a lot. Shit. I don't got no qualms about that. but I need to get to the bottom line. And when I got a leader or somebody teaching me that I'm following, I need to know what they're saying. Is it authentic? So if you're going to tell me I'm a Hebrew Israelite, and now I go look and I see something don't jive with this doctrine. So now let's get to this. Now, Noah's sons. First of all, we got to understand Noah was an albino, according to scripture. You don't believe me? Look it up. It says his skin was white as snow. Okay, we don't got to deal with that. Now, Noah was an albino. That's the first thing. Now, so that's important because the boat landed in the Mount Ararat. Mount Ararat is the Caucasus Mountains where Caucasians come from. So they made the boat land. Remember, this is a story. They made the boat land there for a reason. So now you got Noah's sons, Japheth, Ham, and Shem. Now, Japheth had 7 sons. Ham had 4 sons. Shem had 5 sons. Now, these different I don't know how one man, and they said his wife was Egyptian. So one albino man and an Egyptian woman gave birth to 3 sons, and all 3 of them was 3 different races. I don't know how the fuck they did it, but according to the Bible, it happened. So here we go. Now, here's where the shit get real at, though. Japheth is Europe and Asia. So that's the European and the Asian. Ham is Africa and South America. Shem is the Middle East. So now, here's where the shit get thick at. Noah, after the boat incident, Noah does what everybody would do after saving the world on a boat full of every animal that ever existed. He went, got butt naked, and got drunk. That's why I say something ain't right about this dude in this book y'all call God, because he sure know how to pick them. He picked Adam and Eve, and according to the story, she was a harlot, which is not true, but then Jesus, his wife was another harlot. I mean, like, Lot lost his wife because she was nosy. Like, God damn, all of the chosen people is fucked up. So now Noah, God chose him because he was the perfect man, upright in his ways. So apparently alcoholism was okay back then. So Noah saves the world, get drunk and pass out butt naked in his tent. And his son come in there and see it. And his son run out like, Daddy naked and tripping. I'm finna go tell. So he go tell his brothers like, hey, our naked ass daddy in the tent on some weirdo shit, and I ain't going back. So the brothers go back, catch Freaky naked, and put his clothes on him. And he come out of his drunken stupor like, wait a minute. Where that little badass child that ran from me when I was naked? I'm mad at him, and I'm cursing him. Now, I know what y'all thinking. This is a dumbass story. I couldn't agree with you more. I think it's stupid as fuck, but I got to tell it. So, now, Noah gets mad at his son because he gets mad at the youngest son, which is Ham, which is the African son. So the African son caught him butt naked and ran and snitched. That sounds like what an African child would do. But for some reason, back in them days, that was frowned upon. So Noah got mad. The naked albino drunk man got mad and said, I'm cursing my grandson for what my son just did. I'm going to say it again. For the people in the back that missed it. The drunk ass albino Noah got butt naked, passed out drunk. His youngest African son found him, took off running because it was weird, went and got his brothers, who happened to be an Asian white dude and an Arab. Oh my God. He went and got his Asian Arab white brothers, and they came and brought him back. And they said, Pops, you tripping. What up? Wake up. And he woke up like, what happened? And he said, you was naked. He was like, y'all found me like this? They said, no, the African boy did. What? Tell that nigga come in. Oh my God. And then he cursed his grandson. What the fuck does his grandson got to do with it? The phrase, cursed be Canaan. What the fuck? Canaan is the grandson. That ain't even here yet. That's not even born yet. Hell, his wife's not even pregnant yet. But either way, she gets pregnant and has Ham, and he's cursed. So now, I had to tell y'all all of that stupid shit so we could go back to this map. Because now, according to the story, Japheth right here is highly favored. According to scripture, highly favored. Shem is not necessarily highly favored, but okay. Japheth is allowed to enslave Ham and Shem. Shem is allowed to enslave Ham and do business with Japheth, but it's subservient to Japheth. So let me break this down. According to the Bible, the white man and the Asian man gonna run the world, and they're gonna tell everybody else what to do. And they're gonna use the Arab to do all of their dirty work. Well, I'll be damned. The Bible is prophetic, because that's exactly what the fuck happened in this world. And if you believe that that's exactly what happened, I got some beachfront property in the Alps I want to sell you. Call me Monday. Bro, this makes no sense. That's the whole thing. Y'all want logic. You want God to be, you want humans to be logical. Every time I say something, y'all put every fucking word that come out of my mouth under this huge microscope and determine whether I'm full of shit or not. But God himself can just piss in the air and tell you it's raining and it's okay. Back to the comment section. Cheers, what's up, God? Jay Bird, you say you lost? Oh, come on, Jay Bird. Jay, come on, zone one. We rocking. You can't be lost, zone one. You can't be. I thought I was kicking it. Hey, so now look. So all I'm saying is this right here. According to the Bible, I'm gonna do this for zone one. I'm gonna put it all in a nutshell for you, zone one. You can't get lost after this. According to the Bible, if you want to be a Hebrew Israelite, here's what it means. And then after this breakdown, I'm gonna open it up for whatever. I'm finna zone one this one out real quick, straight to the point. I'm gonna summarize it all. If you're gonna be a Hebrew Israelite, this is what you have to believe. You have to believe that God is not as smart as you think, because God's supposed to know everything. So if God knows everything, then why would God give you a covenant? Because the Hebrew Israelites broke the covenant and is getting punished by God with 400 years of slavery. And then at the end of that 400 years, they're supposed to be freed and rise to the top. That's what the prophecy for the Hebrew Israelites is. Okay, so if that's the case, my question is, why would God give you a covenant that God knew you was going to break anyway and then punish you for it? That's the stupid part. So God going to give you a set of rules knowing you're going to break them and then get mad at you for breaking them. Why wouldn't God just make smarter people? It seems like if I were God, I'd put more effort into making better people than trying to get mad at people for being idiots that I don't get that part. So either way it go. So now, but even though this is what God did, so now this Hebrew bloodline starts with Noah, because remember, God got pissed at all the Africans because it said God made man in his own image. And we know life started in Africa. So what that essentially means is God started the world with Africans. Africans fucked up everything and pissed them off. So he drowned all the Africans and decided, you know what? I got one African that don't look like the rest. He's albino. This nigga got to work out. So he took the albino nigga, put him on a boat with the rest of his family, which was the most confusing family on the planet. That's probably why God went with this family in the first place. Because you got a family that the daddy's an albino, the mama's Egyptian, one son is an Asian European, the other son is a black ass African, and the other son was an Arab. So God probably said, this is the center of cultural diversity. I might as well start the planet over with them. Hey, I just threw y'all one. Hebrew Israelites, state me later. I just solved it half, like, well, no, I didn't solve much, but I threw you something. So work with it. So now, anyway, go. So now, once God starts the world over with this albino guy named Noah, Noah lands the boat in the coldest place on the planet. Now, I'm not sure why God landed every animal in the world on the coldest place on the planet to start over. I'm not sure why God did that. But he did, according to the book. So anyway, since it was so fucking cold, Noah didn't know what else to do. Soon as he got to the new place, he decided, hey, the kids are asleep. The wife tapped out early. I'm going to do what I should do, what I did last week or something. I don't know. So he decided to get drunk as fuck and butt naked by himself. It doesn't even say where his wife was at the time because he did have a wife. So, that's something for you Hebrews to figure out. Y'all like figuring out shit that's irrelevant. Try this. Where was Noah's wife at when he got drunk and butt naked in the tent? I would love to know. All right. Anyway, so we don't know where Noah's wife was at, but he got drunk as fuck. He got butt naked. Now, his African son, which happened to be the youngest son, if I'm not mistaken, he walks into the tent and sees his pops ass naked drunk. Now, he did what all young African, if there's any African children listening, Ham did the right thing. Don't let the Bible trick you. So now, Ham got the fuck out of there because Pops is tripping. Now, the brothers came back, seen Pops drunk and butt naked, and covered him up. He woke up, found out what had happened, and got pissed off at the African. And then after he got pissed off at the African, he cursed his grandson. What I don't understand is why God went along with this shit. And God did go along with it because it's called the curse of Ham. And what happened is, this is the reason why black people went into slavery, because Ham got cursed. I got nothing, bro. This is it. I know y'all waiting for something spectacular, but I've been waiting. I've been having to deal with this shit the last 20 years of my life. I've been waiting on something spectacular for the last 15. I've been waiting on something spectacular too, and I haven't gotten it. So what do you want from me? Don't worry, I'm gonna go back when we watch this. A phenomenal lecture. Thanks, my dude. Hey, I don't know if it was a phenomenal lecture or not, because so what was the covenant? The curse of Ham. That was the covenant. No, they're supposed to when they were in the land and Moses gave them the 10 commandments. Remember, he came down and they was partying and all of that shit. That was when the Hebrews defied God. But that never happened because we don't have a real Moses. We have never proven the existence of a man named Moses anywhere on this planet. And if you really want to know who the true Moses is, look up. I'll give y'all a very dope Google moment. Look up First Moses. Tell me what you see. Oh my goodness. I be having too much fun up here. MVP in the building, what's to it, God? What's to it, guy? Oh, we been cooking heavy. MVP, you missed us, family. Zone 1, we gonna double back, baby. EMJ, this shit is bizarre. Hey, man, this shit is stranger than fiction. But here's the thing. I just provided a body of work where you can go back and you can access this and whoop any Hebrew. You can access this and whoop any Hebrew in the country with this information. If it don't work out, call me in the middle of the debate and I'll come clean up the mess. There's no, what you're looking at, all bullshit aside, you're looking at a slavery doctrine. And so this doctrine teaches you that you have to be saved. And that's always been my problem with this doctrine. When you get to this savior complex, telling me that if I behave a certain amount of time, somebody gonna come save me. But what we must understand is this right here. Let's put this on the flip side. We got this book between 1604 and 1611 in this country. So what that means is, in this country, we received this book as slaves, not as free people. Now, if we receive this doctrine as slaves, how convenient is it for the slave master to give me a doctrine that says the only reason why he's enslaving me is because I pissed off God? It's convenient as fuck to have a slave master that hands me a book and tells me this book is the word of the person who created everything. And this person who created everything says that we got the right to make you our slaves because you pissed him off at a point in time that none of us are aware of. None of us can access this moment where we defied the creator. All we got is books from our enemy and writings and scriptures from our enemy that says we did these things. We have no memory and we have no documentation, no documented evidence that proves that we broke these covenants. The only thing explaining this thing is religious text. We don't have any historical references showing us defying anyone called God, because we don't have a historical reference of anyone called God. So therefore, am I saying that there is no God? No. God is a Greek word. You turn it around, it means dog. So what are we talking about anyway? So let's stay where we at. We talk about God, the God of that book. Who told you that the God of that book is that which created everything? Who told you that? Where'd you get this concept of this God that you know? I guarantee you, hands down, your concept of God came from the same people who taught you the devil. Your concept of God came from the same people who fed your children to crocodiles. Because the people, let's get to it. If we're going to cook, let's cook. The people these were religious people. The Ku Klux Klan is a Christian organization. The Ku Klux Klan, the same people that used to hang you and cut your genitals off of the black men, they're Christians, which means they believe in the exact same God as you. You don't got a problem with that? Their God is blessing them. Whatever God they're praying to. They got nice houses. They got nice cars. They were established. We didn't have shit. So the God that they were praying to is the God that was telling them it was okay to do this to us. Because the book says slaves. Obey your earthly masters the same way you do to God in heaven. Jesus told you it's okay to whip your slave, just don't kill him. Ain't that fucking convenient for the slave master to have within his possession such a book from God? Ain't that convenient? That my only interaction with this God came from the same man who get to beat the fuck out of me and rape my women and children? That's who I got the book from. If you could show me it came from somewhere else, I shut the fuck up and never teach this again. Don't come to me talking about where the original Bible came from somewhere else. I don't give a fuck. You never been there before. The original Bible came from Ethiopia. Okay, show me some pictures of you in Ethiopia with the Ethiopian Bible, and I shut the fuck up talking to you. Stop playing these games. You're not reading the fucking Ethiopian Bible. You're reading the motherfucking King James just like everybody else. The same shit that you can get in any sleazy hotel in America. That's the fucking book you reading. And in that book, Jesus say, your black ass can be a slave. So what the fuck is we doing? What is we talking about here? I'm not subscribing to no God that can't figure out a better way to deal with me than slavery. God's supposed to know everything. You couldn't figure out a better way to deal with your creation other than getting thrown off ships, getting fed to crocodiles. They used to tie our limbs up to horses, slap the horse and let it pull you 4 different directions. They used to take the biggest slave, walk him out front in front of everybody, bend him over and rape him in front of his wife and children. That's your fucking God? Fuck him. I said it. If that's your God, fuck him. I'm not going for that. You can let that white boy tell you that shit if you want to. But as far as I can think, the only person that benefits from that dumbass story in that dumbass book is that dumbass white boy who gave it to you. Because I ain't seen not one black face benefit from that fucking book. Except for the people who peddling it. None of the servants. The peddlers of this religion get their heaven on earth. The servants of this religion are told to be good and wait till they die. Why? Why does the enemy get to have it now and I got to wait till I die? What is the lesson in this? Life is living. You're telling me dead is final. So I got to spend all my days on a planet you put me on miserable just so I could die and go where you at? Why you didn't just keep me there in the first place? Because I couldn't have had no fault in the beginning. So if I had no fault up there in heaven with you, babies don't got no fault. We come as babies. Babies are faultless. So why take a faultless baby and send it to this piece of shit? And then once he get contaminated and corrupted along the way, then you're going to send him to eternal hell? Bro, this got to be the dumbest shit ever. And you bought into it. Why? Because you don't understand that they beat it into you. You didn't fall for this shit. You warred for this. You went to war so you didn't have to accept this book. You just don't remember it. They beat this book into you. You didn't accept this right out. You ran, you fought, you did all kind of shit. They wore you down and then wore you out. You didn't just accept this motherfucking book. You accepting it now because it's generations later and you don't know no better. But ain't no way in hell you're going to tell me that the only way to my salvation is through the people that hate me? What is the message in that? My only way to salvation is through the people who hate my guts. The very first form of education ever offered to the black man and woman in this country was Bible school. It's simple. The very first form of education allowed was Bible school. So what does that mean? It means the first Bibles, according to them, came into the country in 1611. By 1619, the country was full of niggas. It would seem to me somebody had a plan for all of those books they just put out. Now, reading was outlawed. The Reese's be fired, man. Now, reading was outlawed for the African. Now, they didn't take the ban off of reading until when? Until they allowed you to read a Bible. So the first thing they ever allowed you to read was a Bible, nothing else. Reading could get you killed, but you could learn about the Lord, nigga. And what did that tell you? Be a good nigga and you get your blessings in heaven, not here. So you was born to live potentially 100 years. So that's 100 years of brutality to go back to where you came from. Why not just leave me there? And all I'm saying is this God, this plan, this concept is so flawed, it's ridiculous. And if I could outthink it, then this didn't come from the God that you're thinking. That's all I'm saying. Y'all hear me say these things and y'all say, oh, he's an atheist. Oh, he don't believe in God. Well, I would challenge what an atheist is. However, I believe something created everything. No argument there. Would I call it God? Nah. But hey, tomato, tomato. We can agree. I call it the source, the creative force, something that everything came from. Yes, I think there's a such thing. I also think that thing that created us all is so far removed from the day-to-day process of us that to pray to it would be weird. Because it's a system set up. That which created it all set up a way for you to contact it and get in tune with anything you need. So when somebody steps in and say, hey, here's a picture of a white guy with a beard, pray to him. How could that picture encompass the all? You got to think about what you do. You're talking about something so magnificent. You just got to think about it. Something like we've seen beauty. We've seen beauty. We got places on this planet that's so beautiful. This just look like heaven just to sit there. So if we had to imagine the beauty of the Creator, it would be something you probably wouldn't even be able to look directly into. It would be something so magnificent you probably would implode just trying to stare at it. Something so great would not make so many mistakes of that which you see inside of this Bible. And you definitely would have to pray to it. Men need praises. The all-encompassing does not need you to toot its horn. Oh, glorious Father. Oh, merciful Father. Have you ever heard these people pray? It's downright embarrassing for what God would stand before you and listen to all that shit. Oh, merciful God. Oh, thou, oh God. Oh God. Who the, bro? That's not what it's all about. You can't encompass that which has seen it all would already know what you're thinking. What would words do? What would words do for that which knows it all? If that's what you believe in, the source, the creator, what the fuck could I possibly say to the creator? Do you know how old the creator would be? A gazillion fucking years old. Like, what the fuck are we going to talk about? I can't even speak that language that speaks the language that speaks that language. So they got you talking in regular prayers, talking to God. You think about how absurd that is? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. What the fuck are we talking about, bro? You reciting that dumbass prayer every night. And I used to recite that shit too. I'm not saying. When you really get into the swing of things, and this is absurdity. You got a picture of a white guy over your bed, and like you that picture just had you so. That guy in that picture is a fucking rapist, madman, murderer. So it's like we be behind the curve on every single thing. But we love to argue, though. We're arguing all day long. Doctrines were created by men. Why? To give other men something more powerful than themselves to follow. See, before you put religion into the game, it was harder to stop wars. It was harder to lead men. Men can be led by something they can't understand. Look how easy it is to create something, a story larger than comprehension, and pass it down generation after generation. It becomes true. But most of these doctrines can't line up with what we can see from a historical standpoint. Your information has to line up with history. And that's where we fall short. So my job is to take history and bring it to the forefront. I have to remain impartial. So I can't use how a lot of times I personally feel this way or that way, but I can't bring that to the table. Because if I give you my personal feelings, you fall short of an educational moment. I got to remove my personal feelings and tell you what I found. So the only thing I bring to the forefront is my findings. And when I'm looking into my findings, I can't find a space within me that says I can agree with Kanye West saying that he's a Christian and a black Jew. Pick one. Now, I haven't talked about Kyrie much because it's too easy for him to wiggle out of the space he's in. It's so simplistic. What did he do? He posted a link. Let me tell y'all what's about to happen. I seen the tweets and how they're creating this momentum for the oppression of Jewish people. And I'll say this. Kanye West and Kyrie Irving. Kanye made some statements. Kyrie posted a video. I did not see America this irate over a black man getting strangled live on TV. See, I got a problem. Thank you, Queen Yahoo. Peace and blessings to everybody on the book. I got a problem with every time it's my turn, the rules change. See, that's where it get funny for me. If we gonna have a problem in this country with anti-Semitism, I'm with it. I don't want anyone to feel what black people have felt for 400 years. So if I gotta jump on this side so that nobody has to feel this, I'm with it. But I got a couple stipulations. I need for us to be just as upset. Because right now, it's a thing about Kanye and Kyrie. It is a thing that has put the American public in the chokehold. It's making us choose sides. But this is what we endure every single day in this country. Posted a link. You know how many links get posted that are horrendous about Black America all day, every day? Can we get some attention called to it? We got league owners using the N-word. They get a fine and a spanking, and they go back to owning their team. Why you want to beat up on the little guy so bad? You're mad about Kyrie posting a link to a film that Jeff Bezos is selling. You're mad at Kyrie posting a link to a film that Jeff Bezos is selling and has been selling for the last 3 years. That film is 3-4 years old. Did y'all know that? Oh, we're making a big deal about this. This is not a new film. This film is about 3 years old. Shaq showed it at his movie theater, but got the nerve to call Kyrie an idiot. See, this is the games that they play. And since we don't know no better, we play the games with them. So what if this is all a thing? I'm going to go out and say it. Peace, Queen. I'm going to go out and say it. What if this is a thing? Because I see the Kanye 2024 hat on. And I see the fact that if this goes how I got it in my head, you can break away from all of these companies. And when you run for the new election, you have created what America is built on and never seen. This will be a guy who went against the establishment, went up against the Jewish community, the most feared community in the country, didn't back down, lost everything, built it back up. See, this is a perfect story for a political candidate. Because I've been saying for the last couple of years, who the fuck gonna run in 2024? They got nothing. And Kanye is a joke. He's the only thing they got, but we don't take him serious. We think he's crazy. So now what did he say? I'm off my meds. I'm thinking straight now. Because now we have to dismiss anything he did before the moment he made that statement. So anything Kanye West did, hold on, y'all. I keep help. I be in here just lost. Help. I seen Facebook was finna go off and I kept cooking. I ran out of juice. Damn. Help. I can't find no other charger, y'all. Oh, fuck. Help. Somebody help me, please. Oh, well. Hopefully they slide over here because my phone, there you go. My phone died. My phone died. I ain't know what to do. See, you always go right over there and find some shit. It ain't that one though. I need the fat one. The fat Android. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, y'all. My fault. I panic. I could be strong sometimes, but when I get left around all this motherfucking technology by myself, I get scared. I don't know how to push not one button in here. So I don't even know what the hell I was talking about. I got so nervous. I seen it kept telling me I was running out of juice, and I'm like, I probably could make it. So either way, I don't even know what the hell I was talking about. I got so scared. But here's the thing. If you got, did you find it? Oh no, we can't even find no cord. Cause Miss Smallwood, my fault, Queen. Because Facebook was starting to get packed too, running this double platform. But since I got kicked off of TikTok, that's crazy. My first time ever, they gave me the boot. Bro, I never been on TikTok before. Live. I go live for I got my live credit about done it 2 months now. I've been able to go live. But I just never did it. And then I went up there tonight and fucked up everything. They probably never let me come back. So y'all all I got once again. Back to y'all. This is it. But no. So either way it go, I have no idea what I was talking about, but that's okay. I was talking about lying ass Kanye West, and that's good enough. And so, oh yeah, I was talking about him becoming a presidential candidate, and I don't think they have anything else. So now, Dick Gregory made a prediction that it wasn't going to be no election, this coming election, and the only way they're going to get away with it is if Kanye step up, and I guarantee you, I can almost put money on it. Kanye is going to run for president in 2024. And if he had if he doesn't fuck it up, which he won't, but if he doesn't do what I was going to say, if he don't do what he just did, he could have never gained the trust of the people. See, this move he just did gonna make us trust him because he's going against the same establishment we scared of. He's fighting the people we're terrified of. These people that we call the elite. We always talk about the elite, the 1% that run all this shit. That's who he fighting. That's who he's swinging on. He's swinging on they little flunkies. So, in order to make us believe in him, he got to fight this fight. Now look at the whole country overnight talking about we need to get with Kanye. We need to ride with Kanye. We need to ride with Kanye. And in theory, we do. We just don't need. Look, when you catch a bus, man, you catch that motherfucker to your destination. You don't ride it to the end of the line back to the bus depot. Shit. So we can get on the bus and go where the fuck we need to go. Then immediately get the fuck off the bus and probably don't ride it no more. He's doing some things that we can take advantage of. But do we trust this slimy fucker? Hell no. And I say that because of this. It's two things that you got to keep flipping over and over and over again. That's hamburgers and pancakes. Anything else that keep flipping from side to side, I ain't trusting it. He flip-flopped too much for me. You can't love Marilyn Manson and Jesus Christ, in my opinion. You just can't hang with both of them, according to the way y'all kick it to us. So there's a huge deception always going on with this dude because he's smart. And they play crazy shit with him, but he's not crazy. And as far as him being off his medication, I could see them lessening the dosage for this particular moment. And I could also see them allowing him to think that he's in more control of what he is. See, just for them to be playing a game with you don't mean you have to really understand how the game goes. So For a lot of y'all that's saying Kanye just doing this because he pissed, that could be true. Who pissed him off? Who pushed him in this direction? Who didn't know that when Kanye get pushed too far, he lash out? It's easy to get people to do what you want and get the results you want. We just talked about this in CMB. So I know y'all can relate. Once I know how to push your button, anytime I want to, I could just keep pushing. So once I know how to pull your string, anytime I want to, I could just keep pulling. You don't got to know I'm the one making you dance. Right now, situation is critical. We must be paying attention, brethren. He said some good things. He punched fairly hard, but he's playing both sides, and we better watch him. Kyrie is a casualty. I think he believes what he says, but I think there's just something that don't make sense. Like, with all of that money, why give a fuck about basketball at this point? Why retract anything? Why not just take your money and say fuck them? So there's some things I don't believe about that. And I fell for Kaepernick, and he turned out to be a fucking lie. So I'm not too quick to stand behind these line athletes. With that being said, we are not Hebrew Israelites. And if God chose a particular people, then that means God's a hypocrite. Why not just make the people you want and let it go the way it goes? You said Ye won't get the majority of the votes even if he do run. I tell you like this right here. We're going to have a 3-ring circus between Donald Trump, Joe Biden, and Kanye West. This will be the most entertaining election you will ever see, and it may be the last one. Because after this circus, they probably won't be able to pull off anything else. But they really just don't have anybody, because the American political form is almost at an end, because it never really existed. With that being said, we got to start focusing our attention on getting on the right side of information. Entertainers are not heroes. They're men and women that are programmed, and they usually have an agenda. I personally think Kanye West is too far gone to one side to ever really be working for us. But I think he's smart enough to make us think he is. I don't trust any entertainers. I don't trust rappers as far as I could throw one of them fuckers. And I choose to live in a space where I understand that most of the things that we're going to encounter in a 24-hour period are going to be designed to deceive us. It is only ego that allows us to think anything different. And well, that just is what it is. With that being said, I'm hungry as shit and I'm out of here. Knowledge is the only real power. Information is the only real currency. I love y'all. I'm gone.